In this video, I'll show you how to edit your cursor path in Camtasia or create a brand new one with the Cursor Path Creator and Editor. This is super cool, so let's get into it. You can use the Cursor Path Creator to add a cursor to videos, images, or screen recordings. But you can't just add a cursor path to a blank canvas. So, for example, let me show you. If you go into Visual Effects right here and scroll down, here's where you're going to find the tool, Cursor Path Creator. If we just click that and try to drag it down here to our timeline or even to the canvas, it won't let us. There has to be something to drag it onto. Okay, so let's go to Annotations and let's just drag a square shape down here. Okay, so let's say we had a background that was just this square shape of any color. Okay, let's try to drag a Cursor Path Creator onto that. Again, it's not working. It won't let us. Okay, so you can't drag a cursor path onto an annotation or a blank canvas. Now let's go to our media bin. And in here, I've got two things. I've got a screen recording, and we'll get to that in a minute. And I have a screenshot image. Okay, this is just an image that I took, a screenshot of my screen. And if I bring that down here to the timeline, here, let's get rid of all the empty tracks. Okay, and it, again, it's just a screenshot, just an image. We can make it occur longer or shorter, whatever we want to do. But now if we go back to Visual Effects and to the Cursor Path Creator, we can drag that down. All of a sudden, it's letting us. See the plus icon there? Letting us drag it there. Or we can drag it right here. Either way, it doesn't matter. Drag it to the timeline or the canvas. And when you release it, there's a couple things you notice. You see a path here. There's a start and an end path. You can't really tell which is start and which is end. I will say, though, that the start is always on the left when you first add one, and the finish is on the right, but we can change those. And then down here on the timeline, we can see a couple things. We see an icon here. That denotes what cursor is being shown. And then we have the cursor path here with the start and the end point. So if we drag the playhead across here, we can see in the canvas the cursor motion. Okay? Now we can change some things with this. So let's say, for example, we had an image, a screenshot of a screen. We didn't take a screen recording, but we just have an image of a website, say, and we just wanted to add a cursor motion to it and create a video out of that. This is how we would do that. So let's go ahead and move. We can click here and move it. Okay, it's going to move the entire cursor path, start and end, because if you take a look, they are both highlighted in orange. Okay, so since they're both highlighted, the whole thing will move. Let's click off of it and just click one end, and when you do that, you can actually move it around and where it starts, and then you can click on this end and move where it finishes. Okay, and what you can also do is, for example, let's say we want to show that we're clicking this button here. We can use these handles to modify the shape of the path, okay? So if we click here and drag this, if we make that line shorter, then it just comes directly into the end point without kind of swooping in first. We can drag it back here to change the angle. We can move it down here. Okay, there's all kinds of things you can do. You have total control over the shape of how this cursor comes into this point, okay? Same thing with the starting point. You have total control of the shape of how it leaves the starting area, okay? So let's say we want to do just something like that, just a big arc that comes in like that. Now we can preview it here in the timeline by just placing the playhead here and pressing the space bar. And that's what it's going to look like. So this is kind of a small cursor. There's some things we can do to the cursor to make it more visible. Let's come up here to the properties. Let's just uncheck this right now. The first thing I want to show you is the scale. You can use this to change the scale of the cursor. Okay, you can make it larger or smaller, right? And that changes the scale throughout the whole path. All right. So you can also change the opacity like this. You can enable smooth cursor by having that checked. And you can also, you would click this once you're finished editing, but you can also change the line type. Okay, like, so we have this, it's leaving the start point curved Well, you can change that by having the start selected, and then instead of having this line type selected, select this one. Okay, now it's just a straight path that looks like that. Okay, now let's Control Z to back that up. The other thing I want to show you is the easing. So with this one selected, the starting position selected, we see that we have ease out. If we select the ending point, it says ease in. Okay, ease in means, I think of it like a plane landing. When you're coming in to the runway, you're landing the plane, you're easing in, okay? Whereas out, which means you're taking off, you're going out, okay? That's just the way I think of it. But if you don't want it to ease out like that, basically start slow and speed up, you can click this easing here and you can change it to ease none, okay? And now that only changed it for the starting position. That's the only one that was highlighted. So if you want to see what that looks like, okay, not very smooth. Okay, it's like it starts at the fast speed and then slows down. And the reason it slows down is because here I've got ease in selected. If I change that one to ease none as well, we will have this. Just a perfectly linear motion. Okay, I'm going to undo both of those. So Control Z once, Control Z again. Now we should have ease out and ease in, and we do. Okay, if we want this motion to happen slower, what we can do is just simply click one of the ends here and drag it out like this, just like you would an animation. Okay, so that just gives us this, a much slower path. Okay, a couple other things you can do. You can change the look of the cursor. So once we have it selected, we can go up here to the cursor, select this drop-down arrow, and we can choose any of these other cursors to replace it with. So let's say we wanted, I don't know, this arrow here. We can click here, and that changed the cursor for the entire path. Okay? And you also have, these are Mac system cursors. You can come in here and you can select any other, you can select Windows system cursors. Okay, if you want it to look like one of these Windows cursors like this, you can do that. Or there's other fun ones. You have holiday cursors in here, Halloween cursors, neon cursors. Okay, so I don't know, this neon arrow here, if we select that, there we go, kind of a neon arrow. Okay, kind of cool. And if you want to hide this again, you can just click this down arrow and then it goes away. If you want to create a more complex path, like let's say we want to show this motion here. Let's say we want it to happen a little faster, okay? We can continue this motion. Let's say after this, we want to come up here and click something up at the top, say. Okay, what we do, by placing the cursor or the playhead here, let's right click, and now we can click Extend Cursor Path to Playhead. So click on that, and now we have another cursor motion added here, and we can click and we can drag this like this, okay, to the right. We can stretch it out if we want. Now, when you have a space between two cursor paths, that just means the cursor is not going to be moving during that space. Okay, so there's no motion. And then there will be motion. We just haven't added a motion to it yet. So what we can do is with this end selected, let's click here and move, and I don't know, what are we going to click next? Let's click here on privacy policy. Okay, and let's move this back here a little bit. So now we have two motions. If we want this second one to be more curved, then we would select it like this. We would come up to the line type, and let's click on this one here. So it's going to be curved in and out like this. Now we have more handles we can play with here. So we can change this one like that, maybe move this like that. Okay, let's see what that gives us. And it pauses and then continues there. If we want that one to slow down, we just click and drag it out like that. Okay, one last thing to show you about this. If you want to split an existing cursor motion, right click on it and click Split Cursor Path at Playhead. There you go. That split the path. We now have two separate paths here. Okay, and it added a point right here. Okay, and that way we can continue to modify what this cursor path looks like. So now we would have something like this. Pause. Okay, and you notice there was no easing for this one. So if we highlight that, we want to fix that. Let's come to easing and we'll click ease both. So in and out of this point. Okay, see what we get now. Much smoother. And when you're finished editing your cursor path, just come up here and click on Finish Editing. And there you go. That's it. We've got a brand new cursor path added to this image. Now let me show you a screen recording I did. So let's bring this one down here. And I'm just going to put it on top of, over top of this, this image. So this is it here. And you'll notice all of a sudden we have all kinds of icons here. That's because the cursor properties is selected. Let me just go back here and select visual properties so that this looks like what you're used to seeing without editing the cursor path. So this is a recording I made, and we can see what I've done here. Let this play through. See, I've moved the cursor around. I've got a whole bunch of different motions. I clicked on something there. Okay, the cursor is changing. Okay, we can use the cursor path editor to clean this up. And the way we do that is with the clip selected. Let's go up to the cursor properties, okay? And now this looks exactly the same as if we dropped a brand new cursor path onto this, but we already have one. I used Camtasia to record this screen, and when you use Camtasia to record your screen recording, it records the screen separate from the cursor, all right? It records both, but they are separated. That way you're able to edit both the screen recording and the cursor movements separately, okay? So that's what allows us to do this. That's why it's so advantageous to use the Camtasia recorder to record your screen. You could use OBS to record your screens, but when you use something like that, an external screen recorder, it's capturing the cursor baked in. Okay, it's baked in, you can't change it, it is what it is. But when you use Camtasia screen recorder, it captures them separately and you can edit your cursor path. Okay, so with that said, let's highlight this clip here and come up to the cursor properties and click on Edit Cursor Path. Okay, you're presented with two options: create a new path or simplify the existing path. If I clicked Create a New Path and click Continue, okay, now that just gives us that same familiar cursor path that we saw before, and here it is here. Camtasia just puts it right here at the beginning, and you get to edit from scratch, okay? It still has all these icons here, and I'll get to that in a moment, but that's probably not what I want to do in this case, so I'm going to Control-Z to back that up, okay? Let's come back up here and click Edit Cursor Path again, and instead, let's click on Simplify Existing Path and click Continue. Okay, now what that does is shows us exactly what was captured by Camtasia's recorder. Okay, so you can see all the different cursor paths and they've been split up. So like right here, for instance, there's a split between two different paths. That's because there's no motion. Okay, and then another split. And then we have all these icons. As I'm dragging the playhead over this, if you look in the canvas, you can see it changing from like the text editing icon or the text editing cursor to the arrow, you know, to the finger pointing. All these different possible icons it captured them all, okay? And you can change any one of them. But what I usually like to do is, the first thing I do is I will come up here to cursor, I will click this drop down arrow, and as you can see here, right now it has this text editing cursor selected because that's the one I'm on right now. And what I'll do is, with this all selected, I will go ahead and click, let's go click into Mac System Cursors again and click this arrow. Okay, what that did is it changed all of the icons, all of the cursor icons to this arrow. And I usually like to do that because I want a consistent look across my recordings, across my videos. I don't want the cursor to be flipping back and forth between different types. So that's something I do. If I ever, after I do this, if I ever do want to indicate that, let's say I'm about to type some text, I can always call that other icon back up again for that specific cursor. But for now, let's just go with this. We've got them all changed to the arrow for a more consistent look. Okay, so let's collapse this. Now we can go ahead and modify our cursor path. Now it can get quite complicated because as you can see here, there's all kinds. So I dropped down here. What did I do? Let's see, I just moved and I went down and I clicked that. So instead of all these different motions, I can delete some of these. Okay, so let's just highlight that one and press the delete key and delete that one. I don't need that. This one too, I can delete that. And as I delete them here, they're being deleted off of the timeline as well. Okay, and in fact, I can also delete them directly on the timeline. So this one here, okay, would be this point here. So this one right here, see that? So if I don't want that there, I can just highlight it and press delete. Okay, and it's gone. Okay, so that simplified that motion directly. Now let's just play this. Okay, that's happening too slow. So let's bring this in here like this to speed it up. Okay, that's better. Let's highlight this whole thing and click on line type so I can modify the handles on both ends of it, like so. And like so. Okay. So I have this other intermediate point here. I can highlight that and delete it. I don't want that one. Okay, let's see what we have there now. Okay, also let's bring the scale of this up so we can see this a little bit better. There we go. Okay, let's say we want to pause there because I clicked, and now I've got all kinds of things going on. I eventually get to start trial, but I don't need all of those points. So let's highlight that and delete it. Let's even delete that one and that one. Okay, but let's modify these handles. I did like that swooping motion. Something like this, doesn't have to be that long. Okay, something like that. And that's happening too slow. So let's change this, speed it up. Okay, if I want to change that to ease in, I think it'll look better, like that. And when you're finished doing your editing, once again, click on Finish Editing here, and then that does it. That the cursor is now changed, and we have it in the file just like that. Perfect. If you want more tips like this, come join me on Tuesdays for my weekly live stream. I live stream every Tuesday here on YouTube, sharing my screen and doing how-to tutorials. I show you how I make my videos, and I answer any questions you have live. So if you're looking to level up your videos, join me on Tuesdays. I'm Rob, and I'll see you in the next video, or in a live stream. I'll see you soon.